Man, I love talking about fishing rods, and what I got here is my trolling rod. This is a trolling rod that I use to troll like these PICO crankbaits, the ones that are INTs. They go down 12 foot. They are perfect for trolling like right now. You're going to find that a lot of people are trolling this time of year and using shad looking baits because the shad are starting to bunch up. But the big thing is you want to make sure that you have a rod that you're not going to lose your crappie on, or lose that bass or walleye or whatever you're trying to catch, the catfish. So you want a rod that's got some flex to it, because your crankbait, these treble hooks are going to pull out. So if they get in that membrane and you're pulling real fast, you know, you might be pulling at 2.2 miles an hour, and so these hooks are going to rip out. So you want a rod that has some flex on the top. And this is the B&M Pro Staff trolling rod, and so it has a lot of flex at the tip. So I'm going to try and show you that as it's out there. When it's going along, it's going to have some flex in the tip like that, some flex that's going to move. But when a fish gets on, it's going to bend that. It's going to bend it real big, and when it bends it and it shakes and you're trolling, what's going to happen is that's a lot of pressure on that, especially if you're using braid. You're going to have a lot of pressure, and so you want that rod to have that flex. And so this one does. This is the perfect one for trolling. It's real light, so there's some things you can do with this. You know, you can troll up to 2 ounces on this rod. It'll still handle it, so that's still good if you want to like push out in the front of your boat. If you want to push and you want to do that way of trolling, you could use one of these rods. It has a highly reflective tip to it, which is brand new. My old ones didn't have that. So you can see, look at the flex on that. You can see the very tip of that has that orange reflective material on there. And look at the flex. That's what you want, because when the fish gets on, pulls it down, and then that way it can bounce, so that way it doesn't pull out of its mouth. So it has a super long handle, so you can put in almost any rod holder, which makes it real nice. And the reel actually sitting forward in this setup, in this rod, because that's how it works inside there. So I'm using just a regular bait caster. I like mine to be real light. I don't like them to be heavy and clunky. So there you have it. You want to make sure you match up your rod to your crankbait. And right now, this is a great time to be trolling, because you know the fish are in big groups of shad, and you can troll through real long areas that have fish, and you can see where it's productive, and where the water is, it's just not productive. There's no fish there. So this is the B&M poles. This is the Pro Staff trolling rod, so you can check them out online. But the big thing is to make sure you go out there and keep going until you get to an area that has fish in it, because there's going to be areas right now where there isn't fish. It's not productive. You're just not going to catch them. You want to keep trolling until you find that area, and then you're going to catch fish.